OTT wars. We continue to track OTT wars, war within themselves, war with outsiders. But let's talk about the war that is raging when it comes to acquiring content. People who watch BBC content in India will have a new location by the way of Amazon, which is now going to offer your great American shows, I mean all sorts of shows. I'm told, from the culinary shows to entertainment, children's entertainment to BBC dramas. So there's a new place for it in Amazon India.
Yes. Now this war, we spoke about something that happened few days ago when the war without, that the Disney Hotstar war with Google, basically to stabilize their pricing. And they had moved the Madras High Court, and we spoke about that. And the Madras High Court had directed Google to basically keep the pricing of the streaming platforms at a lower 4%. So they
the commission.
Commission. So Google wanted it at 15 to 30, and they were asked to keep it at 11 to 26. That was the war without. The war within the OTT platforms, first is, BBC comedy, BBC crime dramas are coming to Amazon Prime.
The great, UK Bake Off.
Bake Off. We'll name the shows.
Okay.
Then
Sure,
HBO and
please do.
Discovery had moved to Jio from Disney. Netflix, in a counter, has removed password sharing. So Netflix will not be offering the extra member option to India, Croatia, Kenya, and Indonesia. They had recently cut prices in these countries. Now let's talk about the subscriber base. Netflix in India has a subscriber base of 6 million. Amazon Prime is at 20 million. Disney Plus Hotstar, despite everything happening, still has a subscriber base of 52.9 million in India, according to the March results. Earlier on, a few years ago, Netflix had reduced its service prices almost 60% in 2021. Now I'll tell you how this changed for right now, how it stands at Netflix. Netflix plan came down, mobile plan came down from 199 rupees to 149 rupees per month. The basic plan on one devices of Netflix came down from 499 to 199. Amazon and Disney offer 299 rupees plan per month to every. So Netflix is cheaper right now. The BBC shows coming onto Amazon will cost 599 per annum to whoever wants to basically take BBC Kids and BBC Player. Now coming to the shows that you had talked about, Strictly Come Dancing, the Great British Bake Off. I would personally recommend an old show like Inspector Lindley Mysteries for all those who are interested. It's a crime drama. Dial and Pasco, Spooks, Rebus. So these are the gamut of bouquet of shows that Amazon Prime users can basically feast themselves with in the times to come. But the wars are hotting up. Okay. Everybody is doing what they can to get customers. Price cuts, one password, one person, all of that.
And from what I see, the numbers that were up on screen, it's Amazon Hotstar that has the most subscriber base. Disney Hotstar.
Despite all the problems.
Despite not so much as problems, but I think the war within all these OTT platforms, and it's only heating up as we discussed. And Netflix very recently, and this was as recent as yesterday, has now said you cannot share passwords.
Yes.
Which is a statement. And from what I'm looking on social media, it's drawing ire of people, because essentially, how do you understand what is a household if you can only share it within the household? People who share one Wi-Fi, people who are living in different locations, therefore cannot continue to share password. Sure. Is there a possibility that this could? I mean, I know that there is backlash, but what? Are we looking at expanding user base for Netflix? Because I don't know if Indians would likely pay as much as they were paying for one household.
This sort of a policy, it seems, already yielded them results worldwide. Like I said, the extra member option was not available was available to India, Croatia, Kenya, and Indonesia. Rest of the world, it was not available, and it basically yielded them results. So they are basically taking that learning to these countries. They had earlier on reduced prices, and that had given them a jump of almost 30% year on year. So Netflix is doing what it has to. It is lagging behind as far as subscriber base. It's only 6.
Very surprising.
It's only 6 million. Amazon is almost more than 3 times at 20 million. Disney is 50, north of 50.
Netflix is at the bottom of the chart when it comes
chart.
to subscriber base in India.
Yeah, so, and then there is a big challenger in Jio, which they are a sort of a...
Hasn't taken off just as yet. I am assuming hasn't taken off as it expected to just as yet, but I'm sure they'll acquire more content, they'll acquire more customer base.
And going by what Reliance does and what terminology, they are a sort of a scorched earth sort of player. In whichever industry they come in a big way.
Big way.
So telecom is one example.
All right.
So yeah, Karthik.
All right. I think, I don't know if Karthik is a great watcher of BBC shows and dramas, but if you are...
I recommend.
If you are, I think it's good news. You don't have to watch pirated shows anymore, Karthik.
Sure. Well, I'm seeing this whole story a little differently, Shweta, and I think the whole story is going to eventually bottom out to ARPU, average revenue per user. And if we were to look at this chart, I think the top one, Disney plus Hotstar, is going to soon be history. So
really?
We know what is happening. Yeah,
okay.
We know what is happening with Disney, right? Bob Iger took over again as CEO post-retirement last year, and the mess that he finds himself in globally, it's impossible almost to tide out of it.
And Disney Hotstar is up for sale.
And Hotstar, so Star, which was owned by Fox, 21st Century Fox, is now up for sale again. If you look specifically at India, Disney plus Hotstar has an ARPU of just about $0.6 per user, right? Which is what, about 50 bucks or so? 50 rupees per user is the average revenue per user when you talk about Disney plus Hotstar in India. That is about a tenth of what Disney Plus, which is without Hotstar globally, what Disney Plus commands from its users anywhere else in the world. And even then, it continues to make losses. 7,000 people fired, movie production business yet to take off yet again. It became a distribution company under the other Bob. Prior to Bob Iger's return. Bob Chapek, I think is the name, if not mistaken. And overall, I see Reliance Jio being the dominant player even in the OTT business. Jio Cinema gave us FIFA World Cup for free, gave us IPL for free, has snatched away literally the HBO content from Disney plus Hotstar onto its table. And I'm talking about the likes of Game of Thrones and House of Dragon and Succession and what have you. So it's taken all of that into its fold at a very competitive price. And let's see what else is going to take on, because a major chunk of expenses for Star as a network in India was cricket rights, 40,000 crore rupees and upwards taken, but it didn't have a digital outlet for it, and Jio has come and taken it up. So who's going to buy Star is the next big question. Who's going to buy the whole Star business in India? Is it going to be Jio, which is going to make Viacom 18, Voot, that entire entertainment pack a behemoth impossible to compete with? If that happens, everybody else here is history, right? In India, at least. Is it going to be maybe Tata? Okay. There are chances that Tata.
Gentlemen, I would love to take this conversation forward, but I'm really short of time. We don't know who's going to be.
In the evening.
Absolutely, let's continue this in the evening.
Let's continue
Absolutely, we will bring you more on this discussion, particularly at 4 p.m. in the evening. Thanks very much for watching.